Right, this video is going to be on the law of sines. And the law of sines is used to solve a triangle. And solving a triangle just means finding all of the missing angles and all of the missing sides. So used to solve a triangle without a right angle. And there are three different situations where you would use the law of sines. So we're going to say three situations. When they give you two angles in a row and then a side that is not in between them. When they give you two angles with a side that is between them, and those are the two cases that we're going to talk about in this video. And then the last, to be PC, most schools call it side-side angle. But I'm going to write it this way, and this one is special because it literally is a pain in the butt to do this one. It's called the ambiguous case, and I will do a video on that later. So these are the three cases. Again, this video is just going to focus on these two cases. So the first thing that we're going to do every single time we draw or we do a law of sines problem is we're going to draw a picture. And there are two ways you can see the picture. We always have angle A corresponds with side A, and angle B corresponds with side B, and angle C corresponds with side C. But some books, some resources use the Greek letters. So instead of using capital A for angle A, they use alpha and then side A. And instead of using capital B, they use beta and side B. And then you'd think there'd be a fancy way of saying something that sounds like C, but it's not. It's actually gamma, which looks like this, and then side C right there. So alpha, beta, gamma are the first three letters of the Greek alphabet. And those are what we'll use for A, B, and C often. Alright, so to start off with, we're going to use the law of sines to solve, and the given information is that angle A is 40 degrees, and angle B is 60 degrees, and side A is 4 centimeters. So always, we're going to draw a picture. So angle A is 40 degrees, angle B is 60 degrees, and side A is 4. And I typically always draw my triangle like this and always label it the same because then that will help you avoid getting confused. So, and I forgot to write it, let's go ahead and add it to our notes. The law of sines says that side A over sine of angle A equals side B over sine of angle B, and that equals side C over sine of angle C. All three of these ratios equal each other. So when we are using law of sines, we're going to take the given information and we're going to choose which two of them we should use to set up the equation. So I need to solve for side B and I need to solve for side C. The information that I have completely has to do with A. So for sure I'm going to be using 40 over sine 40. And I'm going to use that to solve for side B. And I'm going to use that to solve for side C as well. So now I'm going to enter the other information that I have. I'm going to have sine of 60 on this one. And for angle C, I can actually figure that out pretty easily because I know that a triangle adds up to 180 degrees. So these two right now add up to 100, so this must be 80. So I'm going to say sine of 80 degrees. And off to the side, I'm going to write angle C equals 80 degrees because that was unknown and I just found it. Okay, so to solve these equations, you just need to cross multiply. So I'm going to have 4 times sine 60 equals B times sine 40. I did not give myself enough room. And then to solve for B, we're going to go ahead and divide by sine 40 on each side. Oh, geez. And then I can type that in my calculator. So making sure that your calculator is in degrees and not radians. So I have 4 sine 60 divided by sine 40. Oh, so you can see it. And then depending on, I'll tell you guys, usually I'll try to remember to tell you guys how many decimals I want. And for this video, let's just do 1 decimal place. So 5.4, make sure we put units on there, centimeters. This degree, right, the angles in degrees, we always have to put the little bubble for degrees, or else I'm going to call it radians, and then you'll get the problem wrong. So just make sure that your units are always labeled. Okay, and then we need to do the same thing for this one over here where we can cross multiply. I'm going to take up more space because I have it this time. And then I'll go ahead and divide by sine 40 and divide by sine 40. So on here, I'm feeling lazy, so I'm going to type it in this way. So 4 sine 80 divided by sine 40, 6.1. centimeters. And then I'm just going to put a box around this. So since these problems tend to get a little messy because there's a lot of work, when you are done, please just put a box around your answers for no other reason than it's easier for me to grade. Okay, so the next example that we are going to look at, and again I should have said it, but if we look at these, the information that they gave us to start with, they gave us an angle and a side. So this was the angle side situation. So the next one we're going to do is the angle side angle situation. So here's the second example. We're going to say that alpha is 35 degrees and beta is 15 degrees and side C is 5. So we're going to go ahead and draw a picture. Alpha is 35 degrees, beta is 15. I don't know what gamma is, and then side C is 5. So here you can see that the given information is angle, side, angle. Alright, so I'm going to set this up. I know that if this is 35 and that's 15, that adds up to 50 altogether. So this side must be 130 degrees. So now I can say 5 over sine of 130 equals A over sine of 35. Leave myself some space this time. And then I'm going to say 5 over sine 130 equals B over sine of 15. And then we're going to solve it the same way. So this one's kind of boring because we already did it. So divide by sine of 130, divide by sine of 130. So I'm going to put gamma off to the side because we found it already. And then I'm going to go ahead and type this one into my calculator. So 5 sine 35 divided by, let's do it so you can actually see it, divided by sine 130. So we'll say A is approximately 3.7. I didn't give you guys units. Let's go back up here and put inches. We're going to make this inches. Alright, and then for this one right here, I've got 5 times sine of 15 equals B times sine of 130. And so in my calculator, I'm going to type in 5 sine 15 divided by sine of 130. So 1.7.